Have you ever wondered why some people seem to notice opportunities everywhere while others, even working just as hard, feel as though abundance is always one step out of reach? What if the difference doesn't begin with a bigger paycheck, a better investment, or a lucky break, but with a small habit that quietly shapes the way the mind pays attention every single day? Many people believe financial abundance starts when the numbers in a bank account change. But maybe it begins much earlier than that. Maybe it starts with the conversations you have with yourself before anything in your outer world has the chance to change. Think about your first thoughts when you wake up. Before checking your phone, before reading the news, before thinking about work, your mind has already begun telling a story. Sometimes it's a story about pressure. Sometimes it's about unfinished responsibilities. Sometimes it's about everything that could go wrong. Most people don't even notice this inner dialogue because it has become automatic. Day after day, the same thoughts appear, creating familiar emotions that influence the choices made throughout the day. What if those first moments carry more influence than we realize? Researchers often describe how repeated thoughts strengthen mental pathways. Over time, the brain becomes efficient at returning to familiar patterns. This process, often associated with neuroplasticity, means that repetition matters. Not because it magically changes reality overnight, but because it gradually changes what we notice, how we respond, and which possibilities stand out to us. Imagine walking into a crowded room looking for someone wearing a blue jacket. Suddenly, blue jackets seemed to appear everywhere. They were always there. Your attention simply became focused on finding them. Money often works in a surprisingly similar way. When your attention is constantly searching for lack, problems become easier to notice. When your attention begins noticing possibilities, your experience can slowly start feeling different. This doesn't mean pretending difficulties don't exist. It doesn't mean ignoring bills or acting as if every financial problem disappears with positive thinking. Instead, it means recognizing that attention is limited. Every moment, your mind decides what deserves its focus. And what receives repeated attention often becomes emotionally important. Maybe you've noticed that after one stressful expense, the entire day feels heavy. Then another inconvenience appears, confirming the belief that everything is getting worse. But have you ever experienced the opposite? Perhaps someone unexpectedly helped you. Maybe you found a discount exactly when you needed it. Maybe an idea appeared during a quiet moment that solved a problem you'd been carrying for weeks. Interesting opportunities rarely announce themselves loudly. Often they appear quietly, waiting for someone whose attention is calm enough to notice them. Many people who study habits explain that small daily actions influence future behavior more than occasional bursts of motivation. The first habit of financial abundance isn't earning more. It isn't investing. It isn't budgeting. Those skills are valuable, but they usually become easier when supported by a healthier relationship with attention. The first habit is learning to begin the day by directing your awareness instead of allowing your worries to direct it for you. This sounds simple, perhaps even too simple, but simplicity is often underestimated. Think about how much energy is spent replaying yesterday's mistakes or worrying about tomorrow's uncertainties. That energy shapes emotional states. Emotions influence decisions. Decisions shape actions. Actions accumulate into habits. Little by little, habits become a lifestyle. And lifestyles create long-term outcomes. What if changing the beginning of that chain could slowly influence everything that follows? People who practice manifestation often describe something interesting. Some believe that focusing consistently on feelings of possibility helps them become more aware of opportunities already surrounding them. Others simply notice they feel calmer, more optimistic, and more willing to act. Whether someone views this through the language of the law of attraction or through psychology, one idea appears again and again. Attention matters. Focus matters. Repeated emotional experiences matter. Without realizing it, many people spend years practicing scarcity. Not because they choose it consciously, because their minds rehearse it automatically. Every unexpected expense becomes proof. Every setback becomes confirmation. Every comparison reinforces the feeling that abundance belongs to someone else. Eventually, the subconscious accepts this emotional pattern as familiar, and familiarity has tremendous influence over behavior. The subconscious enjoys efficiency. It prefers repeating what feels known, even when those patterns no longer serve us. This is why changing beliefs rarely happens through one powerful moment. It often grows through hundreds of small moments repeated consistently. Day after day, one small change. Again tomorrow, and again the next day. Imagine planting a seed. You don't dig it up every morning wondering why it hasn't become a tree. You water it. You protect it. You trust the process. Mental habits work in much the same way. Few people notice this because we're often searching for dramatic breakthroughs. But meaningful change frequently arrives quietly. One ordinary morning, one different thought, one calmer reaction, one better decision. Repeated enough times, those moments begin creating a new direction. Have you ever noticed how your body reacts when thinking about money? Perhaps your shoulders tighten. Your breathing becomes shallow. Your stomach feels uncomfortable. Those physical reactions matter because emotions are experienced not only through thoughts but throughout the body. When stress becomes constant, the mind naturally narrows its attention. Its priority becomes avoiding danger. That response helped humans survive for thousands of years. But when every financial thought feels like danger, creativity often becomes harder. Curiosity decreases. Problem-solving becomes more difficult. Possibilities become harder to notice. This is why emotional regulation plays such an important role. Not because calm guarantees success, because calm creates space for clearer thinking. Clearer thinking supports better choices. Better choices repeated consistently often lead to different results. There's another reason this matters. Our brains constantly filter enormous amounts of information. Every second, countless details are ignored. The subconscious decides what deserves conscious attention. If your mind repeatedly hears, "There's never enough," it may naturally prioritize evidence supporting that belief. If your attention slowly becomes more balanced, noticing challenges while also recognizing resources, possibilities, and progress, your experience may begin feeling different. Again, this isn't about pretending everything is perfect. It's about expanding awareness. Financial abundance often begins long before money arrives. It begins when possibility becomes easier to notice. Some people describe this as raising their vibration. Others describe it as shifting perception. Different language, similar experience. What matters isn't choosing the perfect label. What matters is practicing awareness consistently. Many people also enjoy listening to relaxing sounds, meditation music, or frequencies like 432 Hz during quiet reflection. While experiences vary from person to person and scientific evidence doesn't support extraordinary claims, some individuals report that calming audio helps them slow down, focus, and become more present. Presence changes perception. When we're rushing through the day, opportunities often pass unnoticed. When we're present, we begin seeing connections that previously escaped our attention. Think about moments when your best ideas appeared. Was it while panicking? Or during a quiet walk? A peaceful shower? A relaxed drive? Often the mind finds solutions when it feels safe enough to explore instead of merely reacting. This changes something important. Instead of asking, "Why don't I have enough?" you begin asking, "What opportunities am I not noticing yet?" Instead of saying, "Nothing ever changes," you quietly wonder, "What's one small improvement I can create today?" Those questions guide attention toward possibility. Questions shape focus. Focus influences perception. Perception influences behavior. Behavior, repeated consistently, shapes identity. And identity quietly influences nearly every financial decision we make. People who see themselves as capable often behave differently from people who see themselves as permanently limited. not because they know the future, because their expectations influence today's actions. Small actions repeated over months become meaningful. Imagine beginning every morning by intentionally choosing your first thought instead of allowing anxiety to choose it for you. Not with forced positivity. Not by denying reality. Simply by asking yourself one gentle question. What is already working in my life today? The answer doesn't need to be dramatic. Maybe you have knowledge. Maybe you have experience. Maybe someone supports you. Maybe your health allows you to work. Maybe you've learned something valuable from a past mistake. Maybe you're simply grateful for another opportunity to try again. Gratitude isn't about ignoring what you still want. It's about recognizing what already exists. Many people notice that gratitude naturally softens fear. And when fear becomes quieter, clearer thinking often becomes easier. Over time, this daily habit may increase your awareness of progress that once seemed invisible. Progress is often much smaller than we expect, yet much larger than we appreciate. Think about it. A single positive financial choice may seem insignificant, but hundreds of those choices build a different future. The same is true for attention. One intentional morning won't rewrite years of habit, but many intentional mornings can slowly reshape the emotional environment from which decisions are made. That's why today's practice is remarkably simple. Tomorrow morning, before checking your phone, before opening email, before thinking about everything waiting for you, sit quietly for just 3 minutes. Take a slow breath. Then ask yourself, what is already supporting me today? Allow at least 3 honest answers to appear. Don't rush. Don't judge them. Simply notice them. Then spend another minute imagining yourself moving through the day with curiosity instead of fear. Not expecting miracles. Simply remaining open to noticing opportunities, helpful conversations, useful ideas, or small moments of progress. As the day unfolds, pay attention to how often your mind automatically returns to worry. Each time you notice it, gently bring your attention back to possibility. Not because worry is forbidden, because awareness gives you the freedom to choose where your attention rests. Many people are surprised by how much they discover after repeating this simple practice for several days. Little by little, it becomes less about forcing positive thinking and more about training attention. And attention, practiced consistently, has a quiet way of influencing the direction of our lives. If today's message gave you a new perspective, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next step in this daily journey toward a healthier relationship with money and abundance. Leave a comment below and tell us, what are 3 things already supporting you today? Your answer may encourage someone else to notice their own progress. Come back tomorrow, because each video builds naturally on the previous one, helping you develop one practical habit at a time. You'll also find additional resources in the description and the pinned comment if you'd like to continue exploring these ideas. Remember, lasting change rarely comes from one big action. It is often the result of small, consistent habits practiced day after day. Tomorrow, we'll take the next step together.